Right, imagine the scene. It's Tuesday the 17th of June 2025. You've just sat down to your GCSE Spanish writing exam. You open the paper and question 1, family and friends. Bullet point 1, who is your favourite person? And you think, easy, right? Mi persona favorita es mi madre. But then you don't know where else to go from there. What are you going to do? How are you going to develop it? You know your teacher wouldn't be happy with this, but what else can you write? Panic mode on. But it doesn't need to be. In this video, I'm going to give you all the vocab you need, plus I'm going to give you a really, really easy step-by-step format that you can use every time you have to give an opinion in a writing or speaking exam in Spanish, and you will be able to use this over and over and over again. So by the time you get to your exam, it will be so easy, you'll almost know what to write before you even see the questions. Vocab and exam skills in one video. What more could you really want? Listos? Vámonos. Okay, so this is week 5, family and friends, and we are tweaking the format of the video today. So this is our overview. As always, we will start with the new vocab, but then we will go straight into some paired translation tasks to help us use the vocab in real sentences. And then we're going to use these sentences to help us write a model answer in Spanish. So you are getting vocab and exam practice today, which is a total win-win. And you probably will want a pen and paper handy for at least some of this. Okay, so here are the keywords that we'll be working with today. They're quite straightforward. Some of them should be familiar to you already. So hopefully the idea of going straight from this into translation isn't that daunting. So pause the video now and see how many you already know. Okay, so we have abuelo or abuela, grandfather or grandmother, abuelos, grandparents, tío, tía, uncle or aunt, padre, madre, father, mother, hermano, hermana, brother or sister, hermanastro or hermanastra, half brother or sister, hijo, son or daughter, if it's hija, nieto or nieta, grandchild, yerno, nuera, son or daughter-in-law, cuñado or cuñada, brother or sister-in-law, primo, prima, cousin, sobrino, sobrina, nephew or niece, hijo único or hija única, only child, novio, novia, boyfriend, girlfriend, or fiance, esposo or marido is husband, and esposa or mujer is wife. Bebé, niño, a baby. Chico, chica, or niño, niña, could be a boy or a girl. Gemelo, gemela, gemelos, twin or twins, depending. These are non-identical twins, not that it matters specifically in GCSE. Mayor is older, and if you said el mayor or la mayor, you would be saying the oldest. So like mi hermana mayor is my older sister, but mi hermana es la mayor, my sister is the oldest. So that's an example of how we would use it. Got those? Great! So now we're going to practice putting them into real sentences before we build our model answer. So we are going to do this a bit like the Beat the Teacher tasks we've had previously as a paired translation. So I will put a sentence in Spanish on the board first, and you need to try and translate it into English before the answer comes on the screen. If you're finding that I am moving too quickly, then just pause in between so you have enough time. Then we will remove the first sentence from the screen, and then there will be a very similar sentence that you need to translate from English into Spanish to really help it stick. Okay, so you really got to pay attention to the first one, because that first sentence and answer will not be on the screen when you're doing the second of the pair. Okay, there are 5 pairs in total, and then we will use these in task 3. So you want to stay focused and engaged so that you know what's going on in task 3. So first sentence is, a mi juicio, mi tío es muy gracioso. 10 seconds. So that is, in my judgment, in my opinion, whatever you want, my uncle is very funny. Okay, so now we're removing this one. And the sentence for you to translate from English to Spanish is, in my judgment, my grandma is not funny. 10 seconds. A mi juicio, mi abuela no es muy graciosa. And do check, I often see es no, but always no will always go before the verb, and graciosa because I'm talking about mi abuela here. And examiners do like to see adjectival agreement, especially in the higher exam. Okay, questions 3 and 4. Mi hermana dice que mi novio es bastante molesto. 10 seconds. My sister says that my boyfriend is quite annoying. And now we lose question 3 and question 4. My mum says that my cousin is quite annoying. Mi madre dice que mi primo es bastante molesto. Okay, 5 and 6. Mi tía dice que su persona favorita es mi cuñada. My auntie says that her favorite person is my sister-in-law. I note the su. This is a word that's often lacking in writings and speakings. It's possibly not a well-known piece of vocabulary. My is me, your is tú, and his or her or their is su. Okay, now number 6. My grandpa says that his favorite person is my brother-in-law. Mi abuelo dice que su persona favorita es mi cuñado. Okay, so hopefully you can see how these are helping each other with the translation. Number 7 and 8. Me llevo bien con mi sobrino. I get on well with my nephew. A really nice phrase, me llevo bien. I would just learn that. Don't worry about the formation of it. Just learn it as a set phrase. And question 8. I do not get on well with my niece. And remember what we said before about the positioning of the no. No me llevo bien con mi sobrina. Okay, and the last pair. Mi hermanastro se lleva bien con mi madre. My stepbrother gets on well with my mum. And note that, so me llevo bien is I get on well. And note the small but important changes for somebody else gets on well. And again, quite a nice phrase to just learn if you want to describe relationships. And number 10. My stepsister, sorry, typo there, doesn't get on well with my dad. Mi hermanastra no se lleva bien con mi padre. Okay, so we have now reviewed that vocabulary, and for my final trick, I am going to teach you the easiest way to answer any question in speaking or writing that asks you to give your opinion. Okay, so we are going to be answering the question, tu persona favorita en la familia, and this was a bullet point on an 80 to 90 writing question in maybe in a recent Edexcel GCSE paper. And the 4 steps that we are going to use to answer this are on the screen already. So we're going to first give our opinion, then contrast with someone else's opinion, then make a comparison, and then talk about the best or worst thing. I'm going to give you an example sentence in English for each point, and you should try to translate it. And this is what I would recommend you write down, and you translate into Spanish. If there is a word that you don't know, leave that part blank and just translate all the words that you do know, and then you can fill in the blanks when we see the answer, because resilience is a really important exam technique. It might be the most important exam technique. So don't just give up because there's some words you don't know. do the bits that you can, and then you'll fill in the blanks. The parts in bold are a challenge, so if you're feeling up for it, have a go at those, and we will go through it point by point. So translation, answer, etc. So sentence 1. In my judgment, my favorite person in the family is my uncle because he is quite funny. Pause the video, write down your translation. Okay, so we should have, a mi juicio, mi persona favorita en la familia es mi tío porque es bastante gracioso. So correct that. And do be like really careful with your corrections, checking the ends of all your words. Mi, not me, bastante, gracioso, and O on the end. All of those little things make big differences. Then the second sentence will be, however, so I'm not contrasting my opinion, my sister says that he is very annoying. My grandma is her favorite person. And remember what we said earlier about how you say his or her. So pause the video again. Okay, so the answer to this is, sin embargo, mi hermana dice que es muy molesto. Mi abuela es su persona favorita. Now, step 3, we're going to give a comparison. I would say that my uncle is more funny than my grandma, but my grandma is more kind than my uncle. This is a grammar point that we like to be able to show off that we can use. So pause the video again. Diría que mi tío es más gracioso que mi abuela, pero mi abuela es más simpática que mi tío. Okay, and note my adjectival agreement here. O when I'm talking about mi tío, but a when I'm talking about mi abuela. And the last part, we're going to talk about the best or worst thing. The best thing is that I get on very well with my uncle. However, my sister does not get on well with him. So pause the video. Okay, and this should be lo mejor es que, so that's how you say the best thing is that, me llevo muy bien con mi tío. Sin embargo, mi hermana no se lleva bien con él. And that accent on él is important because without the accent, it means the. Okay, so there you have it, how we could format our model answer to that bullet point. Like you can, hope you can see that it's really easy structure for you to use. Okay, so now it's your turn. If you want to write your own paragraph to answer the question, tu persona favorita en la familia, using this 4-point structure that we've seen today, plus today's vocabulary, then please put your sentences in the comments and I will give you feedback. So well done for surviving your first real writing revision test in these videos. Don't forget to check out the Quizlet link and sign up to the mailing list if you want the quiz emailed to you this week. And stay tuned for next week when we are going to look at key verbs to describe home life and family relationships. And I will also give you a new step-by-step format that will make writing in the past tense easier than it has ever been. That's all for this week. Muchas gracias. Nos vemos la próxima semana.